Thank you so much, Sydney. I now have the privilege of introducing Dr. Carlos Umaña. He is a general practitioner and epidemiological surveillance officer with the Costa Rican Ministry of Health. He is the current president of IPPNW Costa Rica and the co-president of IPPNW. He also is a founder of Artists for Peace in Costa Rica and the president of the activist group Peace and Diversity. Carlos.
Thank you for the introduction. Humanity faces two existential threats: climate change and nuclear weapons. Nowadays, as extreme weather events become more commonplace, climate change is impossible to ignore. But most people do ignore how the situation worsens the risk of a nuclear war and why nuclear disarmament is, today, more important than ever. Nuclear weapons represent the single greatest threat to the environment. A single nuclear detonation would cause a significant and irreparable environmental damage, and even a limited regional nuclear exchange would have catastrophic consequences on a global scale. Studies have shown that if 100 Hiroshima-sized bombs were to be used in a conflict between India and Pakistan, that is, less than half of their arsenal and less than 1% of the global arsenal, it would affect the entire world. The soot and debris that would rise to the atmosphere would alter the climate in such a way that the harvest times for the staple grains of the world, that is, rice, wheat, corn, and soy, would be drastically reduced, producing a food shortage that would lead to a famine that could kill 2 billion people worldwide. This food shortage, in turn, would lead to greater conflicts that could lead to a greater use of nuclear weapons. Now, a full-scale nuclear war would cause a destruction of unimaginable proportions, with hundreds of millions of immediate deaths, a widespread radiation pollution, and a nuclear winter that would destroy our civilization and possibly even our species, along with many others. Now, this scenario is not theoretical. The risk is higher than ever. The Doomsday Clock by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists currently marks 100 seconds to midnight, the highest risk in history. This is roughly due to three factors: the unstable political leadership in nuclear weapon states, previously believed by many to be stable, the technological vulnerability of high alert systems, which increases the risk of accidental nuclear detonations and cyber terrorism, and 3, climate change. Climate change multiplies the potential for conflicts over resources such as land, drinking water, and food reserves, and it increases the pressure to migrate. And the ensuing political collapse would lead to extremist leaders gaining control over nuclear weapons. Now, climate change is expensive. Conservative estimates point to a staggering $3 trillion per year by 2050 in the United States alone. Now, nuclear weapons are also quite expensive. Their yearly cost of the maintenance and modernization has been estimated to be as high as $116 billion per year. The solution to climate change must include nuclear disarmament. Climate change requires political will and resources. A large part of this capital would come directly from the substantial resources that would be released once nuclear disarmament is implemented. Moreover, the vast scientific resources and talent and political resources currently engaged in nuclear weapons could then be redirected to seeking ecological solutions. Furthermore, it is essential to channel humanity's efforts towards fostering a culture of peace, for the solution to both existential threats must necessarily involve the participation of the entire international community. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, the TPNW, is a necessary and urgent step in this direction. Its universalization and implementation will strengthen the multilateral regime and promote scientific and international diplomacy, which are essential elements also for tackling climate change. The time for rhetoric is over. Faced with this dual existential dilemma, humanity finds itself at a crossroads. We can either ensure our prosperity or be the authors of our own destruction. Tonight, as we honor the legacy of Dr. Lown, let us look towards the future, and let us do everything we can to protect life. We must give peace a chance. Our survival depends on it. Thank you.